Okay, this video is why do university experts always stink? And of course, that's a little bit of an exaggeration. They don't always stink, but they almost always stink. You know, they're no good, they're dishonest, and what they say doesn't help you and it's untrue, often completely untrue. So, why is that? Why is it that the so called well titled experts are almost always fake? I remember being kind of shocked when my father told me almost all the medical experts are fake. And at first I didn't believe it, but then I got a lot of experience in medicine at some real fancy places, big name Ivy League and other places, and I saw that that was usually true. Most of the big famous chairmans and all this stuff, they often would get all their publications from just putting their name on other people's work, and they really didn't know much. I was one time when I was at Northwestern, for example, they had professors coming interviewing for a future chairmanship job, including like this guy from John Hopkins, the 20-page CV. And the guy was a total lightweight idiot, okay? He just put his name on all the other work that other people had done, but he never did anything interesting. He didn't say one interesting sentence in his entire speech. Okay, so the other thing is a lot of college and university degrees, they're fake. Like the pre-med degree is a fake degree. When I say it's a fake degree, what I mean by that is the classes taken during pre-med are a joke. They've got nothing to do with medicine, okay? Calculus has nothing to do with medicine, okay? Like I've told you about that before. I'm a triple boarded doctor. I'm in high-tech fields. I never use any math I didn't know by fourth grade, all right? In addition, physical chemistry, what you need to know out of organic chemistry, you can learn that in 2 weeks. You don't need a full year of it. That's bullshit. You just learn how to, synthesize paint, okay? It's a waste of your time. So what I'm trying to say is, they're mostly talking about fake expertise in things that don't matter. That they actually do know those things that don't matter. How to synthesize paint's not going to help anybody take care of patients. That's why any health coach could just study the common diseases for 1 month, and they would know more than any, first in their class medical school graduate in any school in the United States, including the Ivies, who finished the medical school degree. That's why I joke with any medical student that tags along with me. I tell them I can teach you more in 2 hours than you've learned in the last 8 years, and it's always true. They never know anything because they're all taught the exact same thing. Okay, the other thing about the experts when they come from universities, they feel an obligation to be complete. I've seen that over and over with students. Sometimes when I'll talk to grad students, med students, they're always memorizing all this minutia detail, and they almost never know the main point. And so the universities just do that because they're always focused on testing. Memorize these 100 things for the quiz on Friday rather than, do you understand what this is all about? Do you understand the thing that causes this? What really matters with true expertise is what causes the problem and how do we fix the problem, okay? But you'll never see medical students educated in that way. What causes hypertension? How do we prevent and cure hypertension? What causes atherosclerosis? How do we prevent and cure atherosclerosis? What causes autoimmune? It goes on and on, but they never get to the point, ever. Okay, what's the next thing? Almost all of them play along with whatever is the current trend. Like if you look at these art history critics, like why do I make so many videos about art history? Why will I tell you right now, and I really mean it, I think I could be a better art history professor than any art history professor I've ever seen in my life, and probably anyone in any university. And I'll tell you why. Because I've gone through lots of art courses by the great history professors, the so-called best art history professors, and every single one of them, I've never seen one come out and say the truth. Modern art is fake. It's a joke. It's something done as an insult to Western culture. It's a way to launder money, okay? It's BS. A child could do it. If a child could do it, it's fake. All these famous names in modern art, they're all fake. Picasso's fake. He's a communist, okay? He's fake. He stinks, okay? Look at Picasso's statue. Look at his later Cubism paintings. They're crap. Nobody would want that, okay? No sane person who's honest would want that. Nobody would put that on the wall in their dorm room. It's a bunch of crap. So why can't they say it? Oh, no, they sit there and they pretend it's all real. Oh, I have to keep my job if I have to pretend modern is real. Well, then you suck. You're not a real expert, okay? Well, I'm saying this because most people are wimpy and they give respect to all these university so-called experts, and they all stink. They're all fake and they're a bunch of liars, okay? So that's why, if you're intelligent, you should not believe them. And I'm kind of giving you a better basis for doing that. Okay, the other thing is they pretend that they're objective. No. It's all based on a religion, and the religion of the entire public high schools, colleges, and grad schools, it's always atheistic Darwinism, saying that atheistic Darwinism explains everything. And now in a superficial way, they'll pretend that that's an objective way to look at things, atheistic Darwinism. But when you look closely at it, You can't explain origin of life with Darwinism. You really can't even explain the acquisition of variety between different species with Darwinism. It's really much weaker than is widely acknowledged. I majored in evolutionary biology, was an A+ student at Stanford. I've read tons of books on it since then. You know, OOL, origin of life, okay? OOC, origin of complexity, cannot be explained by Darwinism, all right? And so I say that to you because any professor who challenges that statement in a high school, college, or grad school would immediately be fired. That's what I mean. It's completely intolerant and dogmatic in a religion sense. And so why is it that atheistic Darwinism is so aggressively protected and not allowed to be challenged? Because it's the religion of eugenics, all right? You have to remember, big money puts pressure on the regular people, the poor people, on how to do stuff. And one of the most important things from the point of view of all the, the billionaire perverts who run the world is they need eugenics. They need to get rid of the masses, okay? And they can't do that without atheism. So they have to defend atheism tooth and nail, always, always, always. So that's why you'll see, if you want to, generate a buzz, go to Facebook and post something that contradicts atheism. You'll immediately get I used to get tons, one after another, like 100 times more comments than anything else I ever did on Facebook. If I just, made a joke about Darwinism or something, or criticized it, or showed the weak points of it. So what I'm saying is, that's why it is so strongly defended. And Solzhenitsyn had said that about Russia. He said the thing that made communism possible, 65 million Christians getting bumped off in Soviet Russia in the 1900s, was the men had turned away from God. When atheism, you're basically saying humans have no soul. Therefore, they have no value. They have no intrinsic merit. And you can do whatever you want to them. Whoever has the might is right. And so that is the religion of our public schools. So what I'm trying to say is, they will always go by that, and they'll never admit the problems with it. There's tons of problems with Darwinism. Origin of life chemistry is biological chemistry. It's not what you would call, it's geologic chemistry. It's not biologic chemistry. It's a totally different thing. The other thing is they always go by political correctness. Whatever it is, no matter how ridiculous it is, no matter how much it hurts people, no matter how obviously untrue it is, they will go by that. So they're not open-minded. They're very conformist, and they insist on conformity with anyone they teach. So you can't get the full story. In addition, they always defer to a titled expert. Well, so-and-so has a degree in this field, whatever. But it's often the case that somebody comes along who's just brilliant and who's motivated to learn, like Nathan Pritikin. Nathan Pritikin knew more than all the nutrition PhDs, okay? But he would never... Someone like that will not be acknowledged and respected typically by the university systems, okay? It's like the PhDs that require union card. Just like I said, a pre-med education is really a guild barrier than education about anything that has anything to do with pre-med, okay? Most universities are funded by really dishonest people. They're basically run by communists, okay? Let's be honest. That's what communism is. Atheistic Darwinism with the goal of widespread eugenics, musical chairs, to diminish the population and bring back slavery. That is the goal of all this, okay? And people try to act like that's not part of the United States. United States is where eugenics started. Before it went to Europe in the 1930s, it started in the United States. They were involuntarily sterilizing people, doing all kinds of things that if you read about it, you would see how true that is. Okay, the other thing too, getting back to this stuff about political correctness and stuff, they always, go with whatever fake trend. So the latest fake trend is everybody's got a bunch of pronouns and pretending that men and women are the same, and, that you can't really tell a male and a female apart. So how is anybody who pretends to go along with that going to ever talk to you about male-female differences, which are very real, and about male-female relationships, okay? They can't do it, and that's why, like I said, they're kind of a joke. In any field where these things are touched, and this is most fields. So the university system has sort of become a nonsense factory and a big joke, and you should not take their experts seriously on most topics because they don't know what they're talking about, and they will lie 100 times in a row if it's necessary to do what the person's funding them want and to stick into atheistic Darwinism and PC and all this other stuff. So that's another reason why I'm totally confident that I can talk about art and do just as good a job or better than them. That's why I can go into other fields, because I'm just trying to understand it, and I'll tell you what I think is true as best I can. And anybody could do that who wanted to. And it's important to realize that you can do that, because then you get confidence to function as an individual rather than, waiting on the word of some lying scumbag phony expert.